welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and welcome to my little yarniverse. So hello and welcome back. How are you doing? As always, let me know by leaving a comment down below. Make sure that you say hi. If you are making anything at the moment, make sure that you tell me that in the comments because I'd love to hear what people are up to. I've got a few things that I have made or finished that I'm going to be showing you today, but otherwise, yeah, it's going well here. It's a bit busy, so I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter than usual. It has been raining a lot and we're well and truly coming towards the end of autumn now. You know, most of the leaves are off the trees now. There's still sort of, you know, those really hardy oaks that have so many leaves on them that they still actually have enough leaves to resemble a tree, but a lot of the smaller trees now are sort of a lot more thinned out and a lot barer. So yeah, it's kind of why, like, October being that middle month of autumn where the trees have turned colour already, but they do lose them by the end, and as we're sort of going into November, you know, they're gone now. Pretty sure it's going to be November when this video comes out. I'm lost track of dates, but yeah, so onwards into winter, onwards towards Christmas. No, we're not going to be having regular Christmas things on this channel until December. I did break the habit of a lifetime and showed some Christmas stuff earlier in the month, which you all seem to be enjoying, which is fabulous, but that's not a regular thing until December. That's just because they are gifts for people and I have to make them early, so don't be expecting that as a regular thing. For our household, Christmas does not start until December. It's a very strict rule. I've actually seen people with Christmas decorations up already, so if that's to you, no. It's still November. Stop it. So yeah, I get the feeling though, Christmas is just such a joyous time. I totally understand people wanting it to last longer than it does, but I think like everything, it has its place, and if we draw it out too much, then, you know, we run the risk of not making it a fun time. You know, we get all stressed in November because we have to buy the perfect Christmas gift, and it's like, it's Christmas. Just, you know, people just want to be with you. They just want to spend time with you and get together because it's that time of year where the country actually slows down. So looking forward to that. I think it's probably my second favourite time. Is it my second favourite time of year? I quite like summer. I quite like the weather being nice. Every British person always complains it's too hot in summer and it's too cold in winter. It's too rainy in spring and autumn. Christmas or summer? Let me know. What's your favourite time of year? Do you prefer Christmas or do you prefer the height of summer? Anywho, enough of the weather, enough of that very British rant at the start of my video there. I have some stuff to show you. So yeah, well, the first thing, very on brand for autumn, is the socks. I finished them, so I finally bit the bullet and actually started working, dropping them there, and again. I finally bit the bullet and actually finished the foot. So I kind of made pretty quick progress on the leg of the socks and the heels, but as I started working on the foot, I started getting a little twinge of pain in my wrists, so I did slow down. I've spoken about it before. You've got to be really careful when you're crafting that you don't overdo it, and you take plenty of breaks and you stretch out your fingers and your wrists. So I did take a break and I worked with some thicker needles on a different project, but I have now finished these. I've gone back to them and finished them. I do a slightly amended version of the toe. I don't know if this is seen in some people's patterns, but usually a pattern will tell you to decrease on both sides in one row and then do a straight row and then decrease again and do a straight row, and that means that both sides kind of tip like this. I actually do it so that you always decrease on this side every alternate row, but you only decrease on this side every fourth row. And that just means that this kind of fits around the big toe a little bit better, in my opinion. You don't have to do that, but you do have to be careful that when you do the other sock, you reverse it so that you actually have, you know, you have reverse socks and not exactly the same, because then it's gonna be your little toe on one foot and then your big toe on the other foot that gets that different decrease. So yeah, I made sure that I did change which side was decreased more. I continued the moss stitch down to the toe, but when it came to doing those decreases, rather than figuring out where the moss stitch would go, I thought it was just safest to work in the stockinette. So yes, those are finished. I'm quite happy with how they came out. Very autumnal, and I've just about got enough time to wear them before we get into autumn. No, sorry, before we get into winter. So I've just about got enough time to wear those until next year. And then we have a shawl. So this was one that I actually only started a few days ago because it was quite a simple pattern. It's just a 2-row repeat, sort of that more holy row and then the denser row are the 2 rows there. Starting in the centre and increasing at the point and then at both ends, which gives you this nice triangle. And I used the Mondale. I'll make sure that I put the word up here so that you can see the brand, look the brand up. It was the Trekkia, which again, I might be mispronouncing. It was the Super Trekkia yarn from that brand. And it had, was it 6 or 7 different shades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I think. 6 different shades, ranging from the burgundy through to the gold, with different levels of the orange, of the burgundy and of the gold to gradually make it. So it's not entirely tonal because, so it looks really nice from a distance, but if you get really close up, you might be able to see that they are in fact different strands wound around each other. So there's an orange and a burgundy wound around each other. I think it's 4 ply. So there was sort of, you know, 2 burgundy, 2 orange, and then in the next shade there was like 3 orange and 1 burgundy. And then the burgundy got subbed out for a lighter orange, and then the darker oranges got subbed out for gold, and it worked its way through all these colours. So the pattern I chose, I've forgotten the name, it was something like the tea flower pattern. Again, I will make sure that I link that in the description. But I did have to slightly edit it because I did run out of yarn. So in the original pattern, these flowers go all the way up the edge on both sides, and I didn't have enough yarn to do that with. So this was a 200-gram ball of yarn. It claimed to be an Aran, and it had the yardage of an Aran, so similar to what you would expect for a 200-gram ball of Aran, but it's not an Aran. It's really not an Aran. Not even slightly. It's incredibly thin. Like I say, it's more like a 4 ply, a DK at most, but it seems to be marketed as an Aran. So annoyingly, that does mean that there wasn't enough yarn. So what I did was I used what was left of some of my other colours, and I started from the middle, so from the point, and I did these few flowers here, and then I also did some at each end, just so that when it is wrapped around, these bits dangle, they have more weight to them. So if it goes around like this, then each of these corner points has a bit more weight, and so it hangs down more. And then same at the back, obviously the peak is down my back and it's dangling more, but it doesn't have the same effect, which is a little bit sad, but I can't do anything about that. I don't have any more yarn, but considering I bought this yarn just to have a play with some different brands, I do like the colours. The yarn is a little scratchy, so that's why I went for a shawl instead of a scarf. But you're honest, I'm not going to notice that as a shawl at all. And it's not like it's really scratchy. It's also quite soft. It's a strange combination of scratchy and soft. I don't understand. I think it's more so like because it's been worked up, it's got a sponginess to it, and so it is soft sort of en masse. But the actual individual bits itself, like if I actually pick a bit here, that's a little scratchy. I hope that makes sense. But I do like it. It was easy enough to work with. You do have to be careful you don't split it, because it is sort of multiple different strands that have been spun around each other, and they are quite loose at times, so it is easy to put your hook or your needle through 3 of the strands and not the 4th, for example, or split it directly in half. So that's what I would say about this yarn, if you're interested in having a little look. So yeah, that is all for the time being. I mean, I say that's all, that's an entire shawl that I just made in the last week, and finished those socks up. So yeah, not too much happening at the moment. Trying to, you know, everything's a bit busy, so I haven't been able to make an awful lot of stuff, but I did make that shawl just to keep something easy to do whilst other things were happening at the same time. Yeah, and hoping to do a few more toy projects soon, hoping to get on and make some blanket progress with the autumn blankets. So I will make sure that as I start working on the details of that blanket, I show you how I'm working that up, because I think I've shown you the patches before, but I'm not 100% sure that I explained what I intend to do with those patches. I might have done. I'll have to go and dig the video out where I first talked about it. But yeah, as I start working that up, I will show you what I'm doing to make it look more autumny, and hopefully you'll be interested in that. So yeah, I will leave that there for today. Like I said earlier, make sure that you let me know how you're getting on in the comments down below, what projects you're working on, and I will see you in another video. Bye!